Now we are going to do some long division. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide x plus 5 into 6x squared plus 37x plus 39.
Boy. 6x squared plus 37x plus 39.
Okay, so I rewrote it from a regular division into a long division problem. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think in my head, what would I take times this x to get a 6x squared?
1.
Now if I take x times 1, do I get 6x squared?
Oh.
So x times what gives me 6x squared? So what would I take times x to get 6x squared?
6.
I need a 6. I also need, because this has an x and I need an x squared,
X.
I need another x, right? If you take x times 6x, you get 6x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that 6x up on the top. Now I'm going to multiply that times this and times this. So 6x times x is my 6x squared. Those should match. 6x times 5 is 30x. Those ones probably won't match, but sometimes they do. But the leading one you always want to match up. We've got it matched up, right?
Yep.
Okay. So then what our next step is that we're going to subtract so that we can cancel out that leading term from our polynomial. So when I subtract, this is going to be a negative. This is also going to change to a negative, right? Because when we subtract, we do the opposite. Now those two things cancel out. So 37 minus 30 would give me 7x, and then I just bring down my plus 39. Now I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to say, okay, what times my x is going to give me this term here, 7x. Well, what times x would give me 7x?
7.
Just a 7. And it's going to be a positive 7. Since it's not my leading one, I need to put a plus sign there. So multiplying that out, 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 5 is 35. And then we have to subtract so that we can cancel out the leading term. So this becomes negative, this also becomes negative, and I can cancel that out. 39 minus 35 is 4. 4 is my remainder. My quotient is the 6x plus 7. Right, 4 is what I had left over at the end. Now, for fun, if you wanted to check your answer, what you do is you take your divisor, the x plus 5, times your quotient, the 6x plus 7, and then in the end you have to add the remainder on. So if I FOIL that out, x times 6x is 6x squared, x times 7 is 7x, 5 times 6x is 30x, 5 times 7 is 35, and then I had that extra plus 4. Combining my like terms, I've got a 6x squared, 7 plus 30 is 37x, and 35 plus 4, 39. Sure enough, that's what we started with. So if you wanted to take the time to check it, you FOIL this part out, add your remainder, you should get what you started with. All right. Let's check out the next two then that we're doing long division on. So number 11. We are going to take x plus 4 and we're going to divide it into x squared plus 10x plus 20. Well, that's a little maybe easier one to do. Okay, so you're going to think about what do you take times the x to just get an x squared.
An X.
Just an x. So we're going to put that x on top, and then we're going to multiply that times both things. So when we multiply that out, we get
X
x
squared
squared
and 4X.
plus 4x, exactly. Then we have to subtract, so we can cancel out that leading term. So we make that negative, so we can cancel out that first term. So when we subtract, we get
6X.
6x plus 20, right?
Oh yeah, plus 20.
So now we have to figure out, what do we take times the x to get a 6x?
6.
Just a 6, so a plus 6 goes up on top. And then we multiply that out. So if we multiply that out, we would get
6X plus 24.
6x plus 24, and then we have to
Change the sign.
change our signs, and so we get,
Cancel that out, so we got 4.
not 4, but
Negative
-4,
4.
right? Because the 24 is bigger, so -4. So our quotient would be x plus 6. Our remainder would be -4. And again, just for fun, if we wanted to check that one, we would take the x plus 4, which is our divisor, times our x plus 6, and then minus the 4, since our remainder was -4. So x times x is x squared. My outside is 6x. My inside is 4x. 4 times 6 is positive 24. And then that minus 4 was my remainder. So 6 plus 4 gives me 10x here. 24 minus 4 is 20 there. Sure enough, I got x squared plus 10x plus 20.
Oh.
Number 12. Last one on this page. So we are going to do 3x plus 5, and we're going to divide it into 18x squared plus 51x plus 35. So how should I start this one?
X plus 5, so that's different now.
It's a little bit different, yep. Look at the other two we did. How did we start it?
5 is 3 times 5 is 6.
6. We need a 6. We also need
An X.
an x.
6, 7.
There we go. So we're going to take 3x times 6x, and that's going to give us 18x squared, right?
X.
And then we also have to take our 5 times our 6x, so plus 30x. Then we have to
Minus.
minus them, so those cancel out, and we would get
Minus 51. Really? What is that? 15 minus 51 equals 21.
so 21x plus 35, right?
Plus X.
So now what do we need to do?
So then we, excuse me, is it 5? Did we put the 5 down there? No?
Now,
Or just 21, minus 21.
I'm going to put something up here, right? What needs to go up here? So if I have a 3x here, what do I need up here to get this? Right?
16?
What are you doing with those numbers up there? How do we get this one? We took this times this, right? So we need what times what gives me this?
5 times what makes 21?
3.
Oh, 3, 7.
7.
7.
We need a plus 7 there, right? Because we're trying to match the front numbers.
Plus 7.
So 3x times 7
21.
is 21x. 5 times 7 is 35. So now what did we do?
Now we minus everything.
We minused, and in this case we get a remainder of
0.
0. 6x plus 7, remainder of 0. So that means if I took 3x plus 5 times 6x plus 7 and I added 0 to it, I should get this, right? So 3x times 6x would be 18x to the second. 3x times 7 is 21x. 5 times 6x is 30x. 5 times 7, 35, plus my 0. So combining my middle terms, 21 plus 30 is 51x. And my numbers, 35 plus 0 is 35. So sure enough, I got 18x squared plus 51x plus 35 when I checked it out. Alrighty.